We're back, and the news has not slowed down. From runoff elections to inflation highs, let's check in on this week's top headlines. Freshman Representative Christian Menefee defeated veteran Representative Al Green in the primary runoff race in Texas's 18th Congressional District, winning nearly 70% of the vote and ending Green's more than 20-year run in Congress. A Republican-led redistricting effort redrew the state's congressional maps, which folded most of Green's constituent base into the 18th, currently led by Menefee, while redrawing the new 9th district to favor Republicans. In a statement, Menefee lauded Green as an icon and vowed to carry on his work in Congress. He also criticized the state's electoral process, arguing that Republicans had deliberately made it harder on communities like his and sought to dilute their political power. On the other side of the aisle, Attorney General Ken Paxton defeated incumbent four-term Senator John Cornyn in Texas's Senate primary runoff. He will face Democrat James Tallarico in the general election in November, which could become a key seat in the fight for the Senate majority. The race was seen as a test of Trump's power, given his backing of Paxton. The Trump administration has announced the taxpayer-funded Anti-Weaponization Fund for allies who claim they were unfairly targeted by the previous administration. The $1.776 billion fund was established as part of a settlement in which Trump dropped his $10 billion lawsuit accusing the IRS of failing to protect him and the Trump Organization from an unauthorized disclosure of their tax returns. As part of that settlement, the IRS is also barred from pursuing any enforcement actions against Trump, his family, and their previously filed tax returns. A federal judge has since issued a temporary hold on the fund, following a suit by former January 6 prosecutor Andrew Floyd and other plaintiffs, who argue the fund is an unlawful slush fund that benefits only Trump's political allies. Representative Frederica Wilson has announced her retirement from Congress after 16 years. The South Florida Democrat, known for her colorful hats and outfits, was a champion for education and Black communities. The 83-year-old told the crowd at her street naming ceremony near the elementary school where she was once a principal that it has been a journey, but it's time. It's time. We thank her for being a Black woman that leads. Inflation has surged to a now 3-year high amid the ongoing conflict with Iran. Inflation ticked up to 3.8% year over year in April. Running on a platform of lower prices, Trump and Republicans are now heading closer to midterms with their own inflation crisis. The NAACP is calling for Black athletes, families, alumni, and fans to withhold athletic and financial support from public universities in southern states that have moved to weaken Black voting rights. The Out of Bounds campaign is a direct response to the Supreme Court's gutting of the Voting Rights Act, a landmark federal law that removed barriers and affirmed the right to vote for millions of African Americans. The CBC has joined the campaign, announcing unanimous opposition to the SCORE Act, a Republican-led bill aimed to curb the big business of college sports. The CBC's opposition forced House leadership to pull the bill from the floor entirely. This week, the Treasury Department presented a mock-up of Trump's face on a $250 bill during a press conference. The bill could soon appear as part of the Trump administration's celebration of the country's 250th anniversary. Currently, the law states that no living president can appear on currency, but the administration is preparing for the possibility that Congress will pass legislation to authorize the special bill. The Justice Department has launched a criminal investigation into E. Jane Carroll, who accused Trump of sexual assault. The investigation is focused on possible money laundering related to funding Carroll's legal costs, and whether she committed perjury in connection with her 2 civil lawsuits against the president. She won both judgments, which were later upheld on appeal, but Trump has since asked a federal appeals court to overturn the first of them. Since his time in office, Trump has repeatedly called on the DOJ to prosecute his adversaries. In a rare break with Trump, 12 Republicans crossed party lines and voted with Democrats to abandon South Carolina's new map that would have drawn out the congressional district held by Representative Jim Clyburn. The state Senate voted to adjourn until June 10th, effectively ending any possibility of redistricting before the midterms. Tennis superstar and 4-time Grand Slam champion Naomi Osaka teamed up with 2-time Grand Slam doubles champion Taylor Townsend to host an invite-only Black party with fellow Black tennis players in Paris ahead of the 2026 French Open. Townsend called the dinner not only good for the culture, but great for the soul. But some on social media had a different take, claiming the event was exclusionary. In response, Naomi would not apologize and instead asked, "What is it about people of color getting together that unsettles you so much?" We couldn't close this segment without shouting out Naomi's fashions so far during the French Open, which have also taken center stage along with her talent. She has been refining tennis wear, and we've enjoyed seeing her back on the court. As always, thank you for joining us. Until next time, take care of yourself.